What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Detective Comics issue number 1044. This one's written by Mariko Tamaki with the backup Arkham Rising storyline written by Stephanie Phillips. So this one also features some really great artwork by Dan Mora, which is something I've been complimenting pretty much every issue this guy has worked on. I mean, the artwork is phenomenal in each and every issue, and to me that's the strongest aspect of this whole thing. The issue itself overall was just kind of okay. Basically this time around picks up after the events of the last one. Mayor Nakano was trapped in the sewers, and we had little remnants of Mr. Vile, who we saw in an earlier arc in Detective Comics, also by Tamaki. His parasite has basically just manifested itself within the sewers of Gotham, and it's this really disgusting kind of thing. And some of it reminded me a bit of the scarabs from the 1999 Mummy film starring Brendan Fraser and also featured in The Mummy Returns. You know, those little scarab things that would eat the flesh and crawl under your skin? That's kind of the vibes I got from this thing, but also a little bit of Aliens. So if you're looking for a bit of a horror connection, then this is something that maybe would be straight up your alley. So the artwork is great. I like some of the horror elements to it. The story itself is just kind of okay, but the artwork is what really elevated it for me. So basically, Batman is trying to look for Mayor Nakano, who's trapped in the sewer. This is also tied into the events of Fear State, but it feels a little bit distant from the whole Scarecrow thing. Batman's busy kind of working on this thing. I assume while all this other stuff is going on in the whole thing with Fear State. I believe this is probably before what's going on in the whole main Batman book, but it's still kind of connecting to what Tamaki was setting up in earlier issues of the Detective Comics work that she was working on. So anyways, Batman's in there looking in the sewers trying to find Nakano. Batwoman shows up, which is also cool to see. I'm like, okay, here's this girl with red hair. I'm like, is this going to be Kay Kane? She shows up, kicks ass in the mayor's office. Batman goes after trying to find Nakano. Dan Mora's art, what can I say, is really, really good. And you can really see these disgusting creatures just burrowing under his skin. They look almost like scorpions, but they give me the vibes of those scarabs from The Mummy, and just kind of some of the haunting images like this. I mean, that's definitely a bit of a creepy vibe, if you ask me, just trying to see some of those things just come straight after you. So the artwork really elevated a lot of this, and basically at the end of the issue, Batman decides to electrocute the water, believing the human body can survive this thing. And we're left wondering, get up, come on, Nakano, get up. Oh shit, did I accidentally kill someone? That's kind of where Batman's left, like, oh shit, did I accidentally just cross the line? Which we know he probably won't. If Batman really killed somebody in this thing, that just changes everything fully. But I have a feeling Nakano will probably be okay, because we also have this backup storyline with this whole Arkham Asylum construction site. Is this set after the events of Fear State? I'm not exactly sure. It's written by Stephanie Phillips. So basically, in this backup thing, they're trying to build a new Arkham thing called ARKHAM Tower, and Nakano's all behind this thing. So this must clearly be before Fear State, and it's going to kind of tie in right after Fear State. So I feel like the beginning of this whole arc right here with this backup thing must have been right before the start of Fear State, because, well, it would be kind of a spoiler for what the storyline we just read. So I assume it's set right beforehand. It's kind of tough to choose the timeline. But basically, Nakano's just like, we're going to take the name of Arkham back, and we're going to build this whole Arkham Tower thing. Bruce Wayne, that's against it. And there's also some weird zombie-looking things. So this must have to tie into some of the whole resin thing that's going on in the Task Force Z thing, which is the whole Jason Todd Red Hood thing, where he's just dealing with a bunch of undead Gotham villains in his own little Suicide Squad sort of thing going on there. But yeah, so it kind of closes off there, and that's pretty much the issue in a nutshell. So overall consensus, Dan Mora's artwork was really good. The storyline itself was just all right. It's got some horror vibes to it, so if you're looking for something kind of like that, gave me some vibes of the Mummy 1999. So I like a little bit of the creature feature feeling to this issue. So if you're into something more along the lines of that, a bit of a horror story, then I think this thing will be right up your alley. It is stating that it is a Fear State tie-in, but it really doesn't connect so much to that story. I mean, you still got Mayor Nakano going on with his whole thing, and you still have references to the Magistrate, but this still feels separate from what's going on with the Scarecrow thing. So I appreciated that, because I was getting a little fatigued with the whole Scarecrow, Magistrate, Fear State thing, and I find the horror vibes with these Mr. Vile thing a little bit more interesting than what's going on with the Magistrate. So I still think it was stronger than the main Batman book. I think the artwork is really, really good, but the story itself is just kind of okay. Not too much momentum. Not much has really happened here. Batman just kind of goes down to find Nakano. He breaks down to him, electrocutes him, and Nakano is seemingly dead or just unconscious, and Batman's got to try and revive him, like, oh crap, I may have just crossed the line. Kind of reminds me a bit of the Arkham Origins video game, where Batman has to electrocute Bane to stop his heart, but he resuscitates him again. So it's probably something along the lines of that. But if you're into more of a horror comic, then I think this should be okay for you. Dan Moore's artwork, like I said, is really, really good. The backup storyline is just okay. More zombies, so I assume it has to deal with the Lazarus resin, but we shall see. So what are your thoughts on Detective Comics 1044? Tell me in the comments section down below. Be sure to hit that bell for notifications. Like this video, share with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Be sure to come back shortly after this, as I'm going to be talking about the Task Force Z comic. And after that, tomorrow is New Comic Book Day, so look forward to that too. All right, well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.